Welcome to another session where we are going to divide decimal numbers by decimal numbers. And to start us off, we are going to work out an example of 0.036 divided by 0.002. Now, the first thing we said, we arrange this as a fraction so that we have 0.036 over 0.002. Now, we said we have to make our denominator a whole number so that we are able to divide with a whole denominator. So to do this, we are going to look at the number of decimal places. This one has 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, okay? So we are going to multiply by 1,000 because the 1,000 has 3 zeros that will remove these 3 decimal places. So what we do to the denominator, we also do to the numerator. We multiply by 1,000. So that when you multiply by 1,000, we get 0. Okay, you could write it as a whole so that for those of you who may be a bit slow in getting what we are doing, we'd write it like that. And then now you count the decimal places. How many are they here? There are 3. So we are going to count from the end and count 1, 2, 3. So our number ends at this point. And for this one, we are going to write 0, 0, 0, 2 and add these 3 zeros. And then now count the decimal places. How many were they? They were 3. 1, 2, 3. So our number ends there. So that now we have 36.00. These zeros don't matter anymore. So we have 36 over 2. The zeros after the decimal don't matter. So this is divided by 2. So 36 divided by 2, you should be able to cancel and say divided by 2, 1. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So our answer here is 18. So on to our second example. On our next example, we have 0.0484 divided by 0.04. So we first arrange this as a fraction and we write 0.0484 all over 0.04. Now we want to make our denominator a whole number. So we have 2 decimal points here. So we will multiply by 100 because the 100 has 2 numbers, 2 zeros that will take away these 2 decimal places. The 2 zeros will take away these 2 decimal places. So what we do to in the denominator, we also do the same to the numerator, times 1,000. So to write your number, now you should be able to have 0, 0, 4, 8, 4, and then include these zeros here, all over 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, and then 0, 0. You could write all the zeros actually. And then just place the decimal points. Here we have 2, 1, 2. Here we had how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4. There. So that means we have 4.84. The zeros after the decimal at the end, after the decimal do not matter. So we have 4.84 all over 4. 4.00 is the same as 4. So our denominator is a whole number. So how do we divide 4.84 all over 4? We say 4.84 divided by 4. How many 4s will go into 4? 1, because of 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract that, get a 0. So after this, there's a decimal point. Place your decimal point there. Then drop your 8. So how many 4s will go into 8? These are 2 because of 8. Subtract the 8 and you get a 0. Then how many 4s, let's drop the 4 and ask ourselves how many 4s will go into 4. This is 1 because of 4. Subtract that and we end there. So our answer in this case is 1.21. On to our third example. We are going to do 4.20.5 divided by 0.5. Arrange this as a fraction. Remove the decimal place in the denominator to make it a whole. So here we have 1 decimal place. That means we will multiply by 10. 10 has 1 0 that will take away this 1 decimal point. So the numerator will also be multiplied by 10. So that we have 4, 2, 0, 5 and the 0. And then over 0, 5 and the 0. Place your decimal point, 1 decimal point here. And here we had 1 decimal point. So that means you have 4, 2, 0, 5 all over 5. 4, 2, 0, 5 divided by 5. Using the long division, 4205 divided by 5. You say 4 divided by 5 is impossible. We take 42. 40 because of 8. Subtract that. You have 2. Drop your 0. So how many 5s are in 20? These are 4. 20. Subtract that. Then we have our 5. We drop the 5. So how many 5s? 1 5 because of that. And we have our answer is 841. Let's move to the last example, number 4, where we have 0.0015 divided by 0.03. Again, arrange this as a fraction divided by 0.03. So remove these decimal places. 2 decimal places will mean we multiply by 100. So we also multiply the numerator by 100. So our answer here should be 0.0015 times 100 should give you 0.15 divided by 3. So we had 0.15 divided by 3. So we could use the long division. You say 0.15 divided by 3. 0 by 3 is 0. Remember your decimal point, still impossible. Put a 0 and say now you take 15. 15 because of 5. So you say 5, subtract that, and you have your answer as 0.05. So the point to remember is that anytime you're dividing by a decimal, you have to make that decimal a whole number for you to have an easy time when you're dividing. So that if I was dividing a number like, let's say the same number actually, 0.0015, and I probably want to divide by 0.00015. Okay, and I want to remove these decimal places. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I will have to have 5 zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for them to remove these 5 decimal places. Okay, so this is 100,000. So that means even the numerator I will multiply by 100,000, and that is the pattern. That is actually the pattern. So I'm going to ask you to do the following exercise, and once you're through, please submit your work to your teacher. If this video has been of help to you, please click like, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell in the subscription box.